Welcome back to the 5% Club. I'm Shayla King, a former C-suite executive turned business and life coach. And this is the podcast for leaders who want it all. The promotions, the paychecks, and luxurious amounts of time for the things that matter most. Each week, I'm going to teach you from my performance and happiness formula what it takes to rise to the top without burnout and overwhelm. Work less, make more, and design a life you love. That's what we do in the 5% Club. Let's go. Welcome back to the 5% Club. I'm Shayla King, your favorite executive coach. And today we are talking about how it is possible to let go of life being hard. That it's okay to not only want it to be easier, but to let it be easier. I just spent the week touring colleges with my daughter, Ariana, and somewhere on one of those campuses, it hit me. What a luxury it is to get 4 years just to learn, to be taken care of, to not figure out how you're going to keep the lights on while you do it. You see, I moved out when I was 17, and I was paying my own rent immediately. So walking that campus, part of me was so proud that I'm able to give my daughter this opportunity. And part of me felt something I really didn't expect. It was almost grief for a version of me that never got that. My parents divorced when I was 5, and I kind of became the pseudo husband in the house. My mom talked to me about money like I was an adult. I remember sitting with her, tracing every single dollar she spent. Where did the Coke get bought? Where did this dollar go? Because she was sure that something had been lost or taken, and it was my job to help her find it. As a kid, we bought a house at an auction for $30,000, and we fixed it up ourselves. I was 10 years old, putting fiberglass insulation in the attic because we couldn't afford the utility bills, and I still remember it cutting into my skin. My mom taught me resilience. She taught me how to work hard. I don't say any of this to paint her badly because those things are real gifts, but I also learned survival before I learned how to just be a kid. I don't have a memory of being in the moment and just being happy and carefree. And so I spent the rest of my life proving how strong I was because that became the identity that I learned to be proud of. I was the one who could take care of everyone else, the one who could work harder than everyone else, the one who could take on more than everyone else. And I prided myself on that for the rest of my life. I never even gave myself the option to want less pressure, to want less doing, to want less overload, because that would have meant I was weak. That would have meant I wasn't living up to my identity, that I was somebody who needed help instead of somebody who was helping. And that was just so contrary to the identity that I had built. Here's the thing. I believed for most of my life, I thought that growing up that fast would get me ahead. I thought carrying everything early was a head start into life. It wasn't. What it actually built was a nervous system that never learned how to rest. A body that's always scanning, always tracking what everyone around me needs, always bracing for that thing that was about to go wrong. And if you're listening to this and you've been the woman who's the most capable person in every room, everyone leans on, who never drops the ball, I want you to hear me. It's not actually our personality. For a lot of us, it's a wiring job that got installed really early, and it's exhausting to run. So I want to share with you something that I'm working through right now, and it's genuinely changed my life. I don't have to want to do something just because it's hard. I'm allowed to just want it to be easier. Let me say that again. I'm allowed to just want it to be easy. We don't give ourselves that option, especially as women, because somewhere we decided that the hard way is the proof. Being a martyr is the proof that if we just struggled enough and needed no one and carried it all on our own, that's what makes us strong. That's what makes us worthy. It's exhausting, and it's a lie. I have a book I'm reading right now. It's called The Courage to be Disliked. It's built on the work of Alfred Adler. He came out of Freud's early circle. There's this idea in it that's called the separation of tasks. What is mine to carry and what belongs to someone else? And how much of my life I've spent mixing myself into work that was never mine to do. That one concept is undoing years of overfunctioning for me. So let's talk about what it looks like. Because you might not call it what I call it. You might not think of yourself as someone in survival mode. So here's what it looks like out in the wild in real life. It's overhearing two people in a conversation and feeling like you need to jump in to explain one person's point better or to defend the other one, to smooth it, even though nobody asked you and it was never yours to manage. It's your kid coming home upset because of something with a friend at school and you feeling that sadness in your entire body all day, like it's happening to you, when actually it's theirs. That's them building their own social muscles, their own resilience, their own friendships. And every time you carry it for them, you're taking a rep from them. And then there's a big one. It's feeling responsible for your parents because they didn't save for their retirement. It's propping up a kid who isn't actually ready to be on their own and calling it help. It's that low, constant hum of feeling like everyone's well-being sits on you. And I want to be really clear here because I'm not telling you not to love people. You can love someone deeply. You can even choose to help them. There's a difference between helping someone from a place of steadiness because you decided to, knowing it was your decision and you own that, versus carrying them out of guilt. Like their whole life is your emergency to solve. And here's the sneaky word underneath it all: have to. I have to help them. I have to be there. They need me. Listen to how often that phrase runs through your head in a day, because almost every time you say, I have to, I'm the one, it isn't actually true. You have a choice. You always have a choice. I was coaching a client on this recently. She's already stressed, and I mean genuinely losing sleep over how much support she thinks her parents are going to need down the road. And here's the thing, they haven't even had the conversation yet. Nobody has told her, like, here's what we need. She just knows that they weren't as responsible as she would have been, and they didn't save the way she would have, and she's already carrying the whole weight of a problem that hasn't even arrived yet. So I walked her through it. You have 3 options here, just 3. 1, you help them a lot, really set them up, you take care of them well, and you do it joyfully because you get to, because you're able to, and it feels good to be the person who can. Or 2, you don't help. You keep your retirement for you, your husband, your kids, and you let your parents' choices be their own. Or 3, you help somewhere in the middle. Whatever amount you and your husband genuinely, happily land on. Not the max, not 0, just the number that feels good to both of you. And here's what I told her. Every single one of those is a completely valid option. There's no right answer on the amount. None. Some or all of it, you get to choose. And I just want you to like your reasons. But I do have one rule for you. Whatever you choose, do it graciously, willingly, cheerfully. You do not do it out of guilt. That causes resentment. You do not do it while keeping score of how irresponsible they were and all that judgment. You don't do it with resentment or anger or that martyr energy of, look how much I gave up for you. Because that amount was never the problem. The resentment is the problem. The I have to, and people are using me and taking advantage of me, is the problem. And the second you realize you're choosing, every option becomes clean. You give a lot and you feel light. You give nothing and feel at peace. What you don't have to do is carry it as a dread before it's even real and then resent it when it comes. That's what it means to know what's yours and what isn't. Not that you stop caring, that you stop confusing obligation with love. So here's where I'm at as a mom right now. And I'm saying this out loud because I'm in it, not because I have it all solved. For years, my parenting line was, I'm raising adults, not children. I meant it with love. I wanted my kids to be capable, independent, ready for the world. And I prided myself on how ready they were, and I still do. But lately, I'm asking a harder question. How much of what I've been modeling is capability, and how much of it is just my old survival code passed forward? When I teach, always notice what everyone around you needs. Always be the one who's aware. Is that emotional intelligence, or is that me handing down that same hypervigilance? I'm not trying to raise kids who overfunction. So I'm watching myself now. I'm trying to model something different. That you can care about people and still let them carry their own tasks. That you can be capable and also let things be easy. That rest isn't something you earn after you've proven enough. I want to show them both, not just the working, the living too. Just like we talk about, not just the performance, the happiness too. Because now I'm stepping into a new identity. Just because I can doesn't mean I have to. And it doesn't even mean I have to want to. That's the new step for me. That's what I'm implementing in my own life right now. I don't have to want to prove that I'm hard and strong. I can be those things and do less, be less, think less, and have so much more joy and lightness and ease in my life. The last few years are the first time in my entire life I've operated outside of survival mode. And I want to tell you, it took a certain income or a certain circumstance to get here, but that's not actually the whole truth. A lot of it was internal work. A lot of it was emotional. A lot of it was giving myself permission that I'd never given myself before. So here's what I want to leave you with. You are allowed to do less, feel less of what isn't yours. Think less about everyone else and take care of yourself more. That's not selfish. That's you finally learning the difference between your life and everyone else's. Performance and happiness are not opposites. You can be excellent and rested. You can want the career and the life both. Half the people at the top are miserable, and we're doing it different over here. That's it for today. I'm going to go sit by my pool now. And if you want to go deeper into any of these topics and have a guide with you as you unlearn the hard and step into the easy and the light, then join us in the Performance and Happiness Labs. We are opening up enrollment soon, and our next cohort starts in September. Inside of it, you learn the results, the relationships, the rituals, and the mindset so that you can have both the career and the life. You can have amazing money, an amazing career, and you can have luxurious amounts of time with your family and friends. You can get the weight off of your shoulders and allow things to be light again. And each week we work through those kind of situations where you're like, I felt myself carrying someone else's load again. And I want to talk through it so that I can start to unlearn that habit and allow myself a peaceful, joyful life, because you deserve it, my friends. For more information, you go to shaylaking.com/phlab. And if this or any episode hits home for you, I would love for you to leave us a review and share your favorite episode. It's our best way of allowing more women to hear the message and know that they can be grateful and want more, that they can be successful and have a light, beautiful life. All right, friends, I'm heading to the pool. See you next week. Thanks for joining me in the 5% Club today. If you're ready to make more, work less, and design a life you love, then go to shaylaking.com and join the waitlist. You'll be the first to know when there's openings to work with me in one-on-one coaching or the Performance and Happiness Lab, my group container where you will learn to be a high-performing, highly paid executive who loves your whole life. I'll see you there.